Cool, recording. All right, so awesome. Thanks for taking some time to jump on a Sunday, guys. I just wanted to do this just because me and Mandy caught up for a chat, and I might let Mandy share about why she sort of wanted to do this spring campaign, or she can, I can do it if you want, Mandy. I saw that face. But basically, the intention to run a spring campaign, just to get a bit of energy and momentum happening. We know this 3 months of the year are always the biggest 3 months in this business, and just to really capitalize on it. And then hearing from Anna and Morgs how the last 18 months, what they've been doing is actually running a lot of campaigns as well. We thought, let's do it. And then we were just going to do it. And then I was like, why don't we just spread it out to the wider team as well and just get more hands on deck? The more energy, the better. And then just put it to everybody so we can get, I guess, more energy into it. So I guess this is just a call out for people that are keen to get involved, and then what that will entail. Did you want to share anything, Mandy, or do you just want me to roll through it?
Yeah, no, obviously I do apologise. I was planning on being very okay today, and then the footy came on and we got down to the tavern and we're having a drink. So I do apologise. But yeah, I think exactly what Tal sort of said, you know, I sort of listened to a few things myself of where collaborating as a really, or as a team effort to be able to obviously reach everyone's goals. And that was sort of, you know, around that whole spring cleanse sort of concept and campaign, to be able to bring it all together and everyone to have that one focused week of action, so that we're all being able to hit some different ranks in our business and move things forward. So that was something that I was sort of working together with my team about, and then obviously just chatting with Tal of how we could make it to the wider community. So that was really the pure intention behind it. And it's I guess the challenge is getting everyone to have that same energy as you've got to work together, where this is really going to be impactful and work. So that was really what it was about, wasn't it?
Yeah, awesome. And I think the cool thing would be is we only need a handful really to make it work really successfully. I think we've got a handful of people on here now. I know Rory's away, so the time difference didn't really work out for him for this one. But he was going to be running one anyway as well, leading into spring. And I know Al's, Matt, and Corey, there are a few, obviously this time might not have suited it, might not have been the best organized, but there's a fair few people keen to get amongst it. And so I just wanted to use this to run through almost some of the logistics of what we were thinking and what we were going to do. So then it's very clear and very simple for people to get involved, not only leverage it, but contribute to it as well. So the first thing that Mandy and I discussed was the dates, and the dates that I was looking at doing. Hey, Butters, camera's off. Well, it's on now, so we can see you. Before we couldn't. So we're looking at, obviously, a spring, a few people launched kind of like a winter body blitz kind of thing with the Ice Body Challenge. And our intention around this was going to be promoting a 30-day reset for the beginning of spring. So with the blitz week being the 28th, so you can write this down, the 28th of August to the 3rd of September would be the blitz week, where we'd want to be getting people registered and enrolled, with the intention to launch the actual and start the cleanse on the Monday the 4th.
Sorry, Monday.
4th of September. Yeah. So we've got a good 4-week build up, because we've done a few of these kind of things in the past and it's all been quite rushed. And I'm really excited we've got Alan Hilsinger on the call tomorrow, because I know he's run a few of these really successfully as well. So that's the dates that we're going to be working with. And in terms of the logistics and what we do, we're going to get a separate Facebook group up for it. Again, under the guidance of Anna and Morgs for that. We haven't really done that before for a specific campaign. People are like, oh, there's too many groups, it's too confusing. And I always leant towards, let's have a separate group for it. And Anna and Morgs definitely have said, yes, 100% do it. it works. And we don't need many of us posting in there once a day. I think the most powerful part of having a separate group, and we can have a think of what names we want to call it. I think the simpler the better. But will be the month leading up to it. Because for the month of the spring cleanse, obviously it's going to be support, checking in, all of that. But for the next month leading up to it, it's just going to be a really high energy prospecting page. So it's going to be really easy for people to have a conversation. Hey, I'm doing this thing at the beginning of September, and if anybody's interested, it's like, well, hey, just jump on this page. You can just have a watch of what's going on. And then over the next month, we're sharing results, testimonials, product info, all that kind of thing leading up to it. And then the idea would be just have people, and this can be for, so what we'll need to do is get like a bit of a roster, I think would work well, just so we know something's getting posted in there every day. So once we've got this, we'll post this up in Be Free. We'll get a commitment of who's keen to get amongst it and contribute, and just spread the load a little bit to make sure there's some consistency through that page, because the energy in that page will determine the success of the campaign, essentially. So we want to be on top of that. So once we've sort of got everyone's feedback, we can divvy that up.
Hey, Tal.
I think it's really, yeah.
Sorry, Dale. Were we going to focus that just on one? Because we never really defined it, whether or not we're going to just do one specific page, or whether we're going to separate it to be male specific, women specific, whatever. Like, should we just? What's your thoughts around that?
I think one specific page personally.
Yeah.
Like simpler, and I feel like we, as a team, attract both. Like we attract quite a few guys. So that's my gut instinct around it. And it gets too complicated, and I feel like if we've got a handful of good leaders here, 40% of the people on this call are men. So it would just dissipate that energy if we were to split it up into a guys and girls page, I think. So I think keep it simple, have one page, add everyone in, because then it makes it an easy transition to be well after that 30 days wraps up as well. So I think the really important thing is this. Obviously, there's the leaders that are going to get involved and contribute to making the page happen. But one of the most powerful things I think is going to come out of this is it's going to make it easy for the product user who's having a good experience right now, maybe the product sharer who's already kind of sharing. It's going to make it really easy for those guys to get wins on the board over the next 4 to 6 weeks. So in terms of enrolling people in this campaign, there's a few different kinds of people that we can enroll to get around this campaign. Any leaders that we've got, and that is sharing your vision for how this next 4 weeks leading up to it, and then into spring and summer, it's going to transform your business and then potentially theirs if they get involved. So it's enrolling your leaders, enrolling your product users that are currently having a good result to share the program, enrolling existing product, maybe like long-term product customers who maybe need a bit of a reset, enrolling inactive people to get back on the horse if they've had a bit, just check in with their goals, see where they're at. So without enrolling any new people personally, you can actually get so much happening in your business with this campaign if you actually make your lists and go through this. And then if you went to each leader in your business, if you've got people that are sharing and have got a bit of an income going already, they've already got a bit of a team they're looking after, take this to them and explain that to them. Even if somebody's maybe shared the program with a few people, they fell off, they're still using the products and loving it. It's a new way to create urgency, create energy, and get them back on. So then you can have maybe the conversation, if they're not up for it, but you had a relationship, you can speak to their inactives as well. So if you actually go through your back office and take the time, because we've got the time, we've got 4 weeks, you've got a shitload of people to talk to before you're even touching your actual list. So I think that's really important, and it's just going to be fun. It's just going to be, everyone's coming out of winter. coming out of hibernation. Mandy's already out of hibernation, obviously, but she'll be back down in the cold soon. And just making it fun. So I think through that page, once we get that set up, I plan to set that up this week. I'm going to wait till the Alan call because I know Catch rank advanced with one of these. He rank advanced with one of these Blitz weeks recently. So before I actually set up the page, I'm going to wait to get any last minute advice from him. But the aim would be to set that page up at some point this week and have a list of people that are contributing to it. And it will take a bit of work because it's not like we can just drop off the Be Well energy as well. So for this month, there will be a bit of doubling up. But like Anna said, it's like 20 minutes a day instead of 10 minutes a day to look after a page and check in and get around things. So the specifics for the actual group, I'll touch on and I'll list out in B3 after the Alan Hilsinger call on Tuesday, with the intention to do that. The other thing that we can discuss is leading up to it, online info sessions. Now, I'm going to speak to Anna, but they've figured out a way that you can Zoom call, link it up with Facebook Live into a group. So even if a couple of times a week or once a week leading up to this, we ran an online info session that was just a normal Zoom call, but Facebook Live, the prospecting group, which is the Spring Cleanse group, means everybody getting added into that group gets access to see 4 to 6 of these presentations in the lead up to it without having to personally jump on that Zoom call themselves because the recording will be as a Facebook Live in the group. Does that make sense? That Zoom call to Facebook Live? Yeah, cool. So that's the plan for that. Does anybody have any suggestions? Because obviously I'm open to any suggestions. Al?
Are you going to promote it in Be Well?
Yeah. So Al was just asked, are we going to promote it in Be Well? And yeah, I think we will. We'll do a post and we'll say anybody who's looking for a bit of a kickstart, a reboot, we're going to have a page specific for this time period, just so nobody's missed. I don't think it will because we'll be personally reaching out, but I think it's important to do a post in there, to make sure nobody's missed. And so I think it's going to be, in terms of BV, we'll get just as much from people doing a big order to do a spring reset from existing customers as we will new people. To be honest, that's my gut feeling around it. And I know I'm going to commit to, and is really powerful, is myself. I'm going to set up my auto ship. So I'm ordering a new, I get most of it each month anyway, but my intention is to do like a President's Pack or Premium Pack properly for that month as well. So I myself am going to do that reset properly as well. And again, just set the example for your team. And then you look at that simply in business volume for your organization. Again, we haven't even got to all the new people that are going to come and get amongst it as well. So yeah, I think that's really important too. That was lead up, reach out, content is inactive, separate. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Does anybody have any questions or concerns or things they think would be good to add in or anything like that? Or is that pretty straightforward?
So with the Zoom calls or the lives or something like that, are you wanting to do like a roster for that as well?
Sorry, what was that, Locke?
So with those, the info calls or the Zoom calls, you're going to try and do maybe once a month. Are you wanting to do like a bit of a roster for that as well, or are you just going to do it, or what would the best plan for that?
No, I think we'll definitely do a roster. I think Rory, already has like a rolling weekly one on a Wednesday, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to get amongst those yet. So it could be as simple as Facebook Living that. You mean we could just post the recording? I think a live's more powerful. We'll get more attention, to be honest.
There's a mouse in the house. Hold on.
Yeah, definitely. Get it.
Sarah.
So to answer Lockie's question, Yeah, we'll do up a bit of a roster. I won't do all of those myself. I'm going to be away for a couple of weeks in the Cocos Islands in the lead up to it. So we'll be busy posting in the pages and stuff like that. But in terms of reliable internet to do Facebook Lives and Zoom calls, it wouldn't be wise to rely on that internet and me running them all. So we'll definitely get a bit of a roster. And there's so many, I know Butters has been running a few, Rory's been running a few. There's lots of people that are doing them consistently. Recent rates are already running those. Did you get it, Locke?
we got mice, and I just saw one just like go across the wall, and the housemate's in the other room, so I didn't want it to freak out.
Yes, good.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, so what I said was we will do up a bit of roster. Especially, I'm going to be away in the Cocos Islands for a couple of the weeks, so I'll be able to get amongst the groups daily, but in terms of reliable internet to be running Zoom calls and lives and stuff, that's probably not going to be me for sort of at least 2 or 3 of those weeks. So once we speak to Alan and we get a clarity around what's going to happen in the page, we'll do that up for the Zoom call roster as well. Butters, you had your hand up?
I'm happy to step up, and I've failed my way forward a couple of times now, but I think I feel a little bit more confident. The minute you fuck up, you just seem to go so much better at it. So, you know, I know you'll be away. I'm happy. So, I'm going to do some, so it'll be great. Yeah. I think we'll all help out.
Awesome. Thank you, Butters. Yeah, and you're right. Once you fuck up and then realize everything's okay, you're like, oh, okay, nice. Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Well, if there's no other questions, we'll leave it at that, just so the recording's short for the people that are going to watch this.
Oops.
And then I'll post this up. We've got our call.
That was rude. Sorry. Apologies for my swearing. I thought it was just us. Yeah, cool.
No. We're recording this. This is going to go on the internet, Carls.
Yeah, thanks.
Your potty mouth has been out.
Have a drink for me, Molly.
Oh, we've got a nice little freeze frame for Mandy there. Has anybody else got that?
She's frozen. Bless her.
I'm not on my phone, otherwise I'd screenshot that and send it to her. All right, stop recording.